Shade is back. Guess who's back? Good evening, good day everyone. We're gonna have a short stream today. Maybe we're not gonna even pass 1 hour. Probably we will. It's going to be probably like an hour and half long stream. We only have 4 articles, well 5 articles, no Twitter bizarre, no gaming news, nothing really happened on Twitter. And IGN is simply putting out only some dumb shit, no really interesting articles, so it is what it is. So we're gonna finish those 5 articles, and then depending on my mood, we're gonna decide what we're gonna do next. Maybe we're gonna play some Dark Souls, maybe I'm gonna end the stream and I'm gonna play some ranked in Mobile Legends, probably the latter. So, without any further ado, let us go straight into this. Russia tried to assassinate CEO of arms firm sending weapons to Ukraine. Report. Goddammit, I ate chips, now my mouth is a little bit funny. So it seems the Russians have tried to assassinate the CEO of German Rheinmetall. It's going to be huge if this is actually true. Washington. US intelligence discovered earlier this year that Russia planned to assassinate the chief executive of German arms manufacturer Rheinmetall, which has been producing artillery shells and military vehicles for Ukraine. CNN reported on Thursday, July 11, citing 5 unidentified US and Western officials. The plot to kill Rheinmetall CEO Armin Popperger was one of a series of Russian government plans to assassinate defense industry executives across Europe who were supporting Ukraine's war effort, according to CNN. I have no idea how would that help, because those companies would be simply overtaken by somebody other, and they would get some extra security and nothing would change. It would probably only motivate people to actually once again start supporting Ukraine, so I don't know, this seems a little bit silly to do, but hey, I mean, it's Russia. They sometimes do some very interesting stuff. It's fair to say some of the billionaires have tendencies to fall out of windows. The US informed Germany, the report said, adding that Germany's security services were able to protect Popperger. Rheinmetall said in a statement that necessary measures are always taken in regular consultation with security authorities. The Russian embassy in Washington and Kremlin were not immediately available for comment. Rheinmetall, one of the world's biggest producers of artillery and tank shells, began ramping up production after Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine. In May 2023, it said it had set up joint venture with Ukrainian state-owned conglomerate Ukroboronprom to build and repair tanks in Ukraine. Russia's former President Dmitry Medvedev, a close ally of current President Vladimir Putin, said Russia would retaliate by hitting any facility Rheinmetall set up in Ukraine. In February, Rheinmetall announced that it also planned to open an ammunition factory in Ukraine. Well, let's just hope they don't make a trailer on that ammunition factory. They don't share, its location, its exact location and parameters. So the Russians can just simply send rockets onto that factory. In February, Rheinmetall announced that it was, we already read that, 2 months on, Popperger, who has been with Rheinmetall for 34 years, including more than 11 years as a CEO, made headlines when his garden house was set on fire, but what tabloid newspaper Bild said were far-left activists. Vigilant. Italy's Leonardo, which last week formed a joint venture with Rheinmetall to produce tanks, has no plans to increase security for its executives, a source with knowledge of the matter said. Asked about the report at the current NATO summit in Washington, German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock said Russia was waging a hybrid war of aggression, including cyber attacks and sabotage of infrastructures. Well, her makeup bills are also a sabotage, one could say. This underlines once again that we as Europeans must protect ourselves as best as we can and not be naive, she said. Maybe allow people to get guns, you know. Places like England could definitely benefit for actually having for its people to actually be able to wear guns as hidden carry at least, and be able to defend themselves with some reasonable boundaries. So they could use this gun when they feel threatened. However, they have to prove it was threatened. They cannot simply just shoot somebody because he looked bad at them, or throw a poor, eye on them. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, very soon it's going to be former Secretary General, in response to a question on the report, said he had seen a Russian campaign of hostile acts against NATO, which he said only led to allies stepping up support for Ukraine. A spokesperson for Germany's Interior Ministry declined to comment on the CNN report, adding that the government was generally taking the threats posed by Moscow very seriously. Our security authorities are very vigilant and act accordingly in close cooperation with our international partners, the spokesperson said. The federal government will not be intimidated by the Russian threats. We will continue to do everything in our power to prevent possible threats in Germany. Germany's domestic intelligence services declined to comment. Okay, this is the article. Source Reuters. Once again, it is Reuters, so it's pretty short. Well, this was actually a pretty long article for Reuters Standard. As I said, I don't really find any value of assassinating CEOs of arms firms, simply because they would be replaced, like if you, for a second, they would be replaced by somebody who would just say, alright, we're not going to be delivering any more ammunition to Ukraine, is simply silly. And if somebody was to say, then he would be deposed very quickly. If anything, I would be expecting the Russians to actually try to make sabotage attacks on those factories that produce ammunition and etc. This seems like a waste of resources and time. So next up, we got an article about a politician who we have not talked about. We have an article about politician who we have not talked about yet on this channel, about Alexander Ocasio-Cortez, or Ocasio. Not quite sure how you pronounce it, don't really care. We got Democratic Socialists of America withdraws conditional endorsement of Ocasio-Cortez or Ocasio-Cortez. The Democratic Socialists of America DSA group withdrew its support for its conditional endorsement of Representative AOC after it said she is not supportive enough of the Palestinian efforts to end the Israel-Hamas war. I thought she was quite pro-Palestinian, pro, ending the war. This comes as a bit of a shock, but okay. In a memo Wednesday, the DSA credited Ocasio-Cortez for her courageous work on Palestine, but took issue with some of her recent moves, including her Ocasio-Cortez panel with leaders from the Jewish Council for Public Affairs, who the group said are lobbyists for the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition of anti-Semitism. I see. Actually, I'm quite surprised that she actually hosted a panel like this. I would not think she would be much, friendly towards Israel, or friendly is a wrong word. It's like tolerant is the correct word, that she would be tolerant enough to actually give a platform to some readers from Jewish council. This comes as a little bit of surprise. This sponsorship is a deep betrayal to all who have risked their welfare to fight Israeli apartheid and G-war throughout political and direct action in recent months and in decades past, DSA said in its statement. Although they could have just bought her, that's always possible. I mean, I would expect she is a wasteful person who likes to buy some pretty stuff in the background. Plus, she's also married, so, maybe some investment so her marriage actually doesn't fall apart. But I don't know how her husband looks or acts, or I don't know his personality. Ocasio-Cortez, once seen as one of the Democratic Party's most outspoken progressives, has now been criticized by those who want the war in Gaza to end over her support for President Biden and his funding for Israel. In June, DSA's National Political Committee vowed to endorse Ocasio-Cortez so long as she publicly opposed all funding to Israel, participated in the DSA committee, publicly opposed criminalization of anti-Zionism, and publicly supported efforts to end Israeli settler colonialism. I mean, I know she is kind of a Bernie Sanders fanger. However, I have no idea what are Bernie Sanders' views on this. If she has such views or on the conflict, or she gives platforms to people such as the ones from the Jewish Council, then I would expect Bernie Sanders has some sort of a similar agenda, or maybe she separated from Bernie Sanders. I don't know. I don't follow American politics so closely, and frankly, I do not really care what AOC does. The group said thousands of its members have provided input about the prospect of a national endorsement of the New York Congresswoman. DSA said its members supported endorsing her because of her many courageous positions on Palestine, but also with Ocasio-Cortez would demonstrate a higher level of commitment to Palestinian liberation, and the more than 38,000 Palestinians killed by the ongoing war in Gaza. A national DSA endorsement comes with a serious commitment to the movement for Palestine and our collective socialist project, DSA said, adding to build a socialist movement that's capable of defeating capitalism, we must demand more from leaders in our movement. Somehow I think that DSA is corrupt. Somehow I think like it. Mostly because it's a American organization, so that's basically given that they have some level of corruption always. We must demand more from leaders in our movement. No, we must demand more from our politicians, and we must demand that our politicians actually uphold the promises they give us in pre-election times. DSA said its National Political Committee received a request from NYC DSA-SC to withdraw the endorsement for Ocasio-Cortez earlier this week because we have not seen evidence of AOC meeting these conditions, and at the request of NYC DSA-SC, the NPC is withdrawing a conditional endorsement of Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, although she will remain endorsed by our New York City chapter. The group wrote, NPC is withdrawing conditional support. Okay, that... Alright, so I already have an idea for a thumbnail. Yeah, I already have an idea for a thumbnail. That's going to be a good one. Ocasio-Cortez defeated former Representative Joe Crowley, Democratic New York, a 10-term incumbent in the 2018 Democratic primary. 10 terms. Like, one term is like 4 years, if I remember correctly. So he was on that position for 40 goddamn years. As I stated before, there should be a limit to such terms. In my humble opinion, you should probably be able to serve maximum 16 to 20 years. I think the 16 years is better, as the maximum length for serving in political positions, in all political positions to be more precise. So it cannot be that you can serve 16 years as a mayor, then 16 years as a congressman, then 16 years as a senator. No. 8 years as a mayor, then 8 years as a congressman, and then you're done. You're out of politics. Period. The only exception is you can add 10 extra years or 8 extra years if you run for the president and you are elected. That is one exception that should be given to you. Otherwise, yeah, you spent your time there, now get the hell out. That should be democracy. That we should not be allowed dynasties to actually form or have any sort of dinosaurs reside in political positions for like 40 years. That's simply unacceptable. She was 29 at the time and became the youngest woman and the first female member of the DSA to be elected to Congress alongside Representative Rashida Tlaib. Oh yeah, Tlaib has been quite vocal on the war in Gaza, if I remember correctly. We already had an article about her earlier. I believe it was like a month or two ago. One of my first videos. I might leave it in the description. Sorry about that. Content continues below survey. There's no survey. The Hill has reached out to Ocasio-Cortez for comment. Well, there's nothing more, so... Unfortunately, there's nothing more. But yeah, this is quite interesting, so I don't know any of her positions on Israel-Palestinian border. I frankly do not care. I do not care what other people think about conflicts. I make my own opinion about it. I will definitely comment it, however, I don't really care what opinion do you have. if it's a bad opinion, and by bad opinion I mean dangerous opinion that could theoretically lead to actually casualties, then obviously I'm gonna speak out about it. However, I don't know. I'm just buying time. I really don't know what to say about her. The only time I know about her existence was when she was doing the massive Twitch stream with like big Twitch streamers. When XQC was all that about her, making, like 20,000 tweets about her or whatever. That's an hyperbole. He made like one tweet. So yeah. And otherwise, I know she is a Bernie Sanders fanger, or used to be. That's about it. That's about everything I know about this woman. 2018, so she's like 34 years. The youngest woman ever elected. However, the average age for the Congress still goes up, I believe. Or maybe that's only for Senate. However, probably for both, to be honest. I saw the graph. I might put it in the video. That both Senate and Congress are getting... Well, Senate sure is getting older. Not sure about Congress, however, yeah, it should be alarming to the American people, and they should demand something be done about it. Because if the average age for like 100 senators is like, what was it, like 54 years old now, 52, like, well, probably even more actually. We'll see. I'm gonna see the graph and then I'm gonna put it in the video. You can form your own opinion about it. For me, it's very alarming and very shocking. So that's everything I wanted to say. Probably I'm gonna even cut most of this rant at the end because it's simply so detached from the video. I don't want it to break the already a bit of a damaged throat of the video. So yeah. Let's move to the next article. We got AP News. UN demands Russia immediately return Europe's biggest nuclear plant to Ukraine. Nobody cares. The UN General Assembly adopted a resolution Thursday demanding that Russia urgently withdraw its military and personnel from Europe's largest nuclear power plant and immediately return the facility to Ukraine. So, how was your day, guys? Mine was pretty decent. The weather is pretty meh here. It's cloudy and it seems like there's going to be storm in a few moments. Hopefully it's not. I'm gonna probably go for work tomorrow or the day after. You know, you need to all that healthy movement and be outside. Not touch grass because there are bugs that can jump on me. There's also the other nasty bug that can, not quite literally go into, but attach to you and drink your blood. And if you mess up its remover, you're gonna get very ill and maybe lost a limb or two. Alright, let's stop the jokes. The resolution... Well, I wasn't joking. I'm actually gonna go outside, so don't worry about that. The resolution also reiterates the Assembly's demands for Russia to immediately cease its aggression against Ukraine and withdraw all troops, and again reaffirms the 193 members world body's commitment to Ukraine's sovereignty, independence, unity, and territorial integrity. Once again, Russia does not give a single shit about you, China doesn't give any shit about you, and neither the US give a shit about you. When your agenda goes against the agenda of the United States, They simply do not care. You are a useless organization, and if it wasn't for your humanitarian aids, you would be completely another waste of money. Those people that serve there are paid, obviously. And that money is going from somewhere now, isn't it? Yeah. So these people are paid for your taxes, for your tax money. The resolution was approved by a vote 99-9 with 60 countries abstaining and 25 countries not voting. Russia was joined by Belarus, Cuba, Eritrea, Mali, Nicaragua, Syria, Burundi, and North Korea in opposing the resolution. China, India, South Africa, and many Middle Eastern countries were among those abstaining. The resolution expresses a grave concern over the precarious nuclear safety and security situation at the Zaporozhia nuclear power plant. It says returning the plant to Ukraine full control will ensure its safety and security and enable the International Atomic Energy Agency to conduct safe, efficient, and effective safeguards. And why would they not be able to do that now? As far as I understand, it's controlled by Russians, so I see no reason why Russians should be firing any, artillery shells or rockets on it. It should be pretty safe over there, don't you think? No, as the other side would be firing on that plant. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe we'll hear about it in like 5 years from now on. Fears of a nuclear catastrophe has been forefront since Russian troops occupied the plant shortly after invading Ukraine in February 2022. Yes, a lot of people were panicking about that, and they've been panicking for about 2 years now. And nothing has happened since. Zaporozhia, which has 6 nuclear reactors, sits in Russian-controlled territory in southeastern Ukraine, near the front lines, and has been continually caught in a crossfire. What crossfire are you talking about? It is Russian control. It doesn't make any sense why Russians should be firing artillery shells on it. You basically just confirmed that the Ukrainians are firing at the nuclear plant and are threatening a nuclear catastrophe. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, mate. So, the Ukrainians are firing rockets and artillery shells on the nuclear power plant. Well, I'm definitely going to be sleeping well today. No, I knew about that. I knew about that for a long while, pretty much since the Russians have, captured it, and people were, panicking about potential catastrophe. Like, why would Russians create a nuclear catastrophe? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And a lot of people said there was, shelling. Like, why would Russians shell their own positions? Like you do not need like 160 IQ to realize to match the 2 puzzle pieces together. The IKEA has repeatedly expressed alarm about cuts to Zaporozhia's electricity, which is crucial for the plant's operation and the plant's supply issues. Without attributing blame, IKEA's director General Rafael Mariano Grossi told the UN Security Council on April 15 that his agency had confirmed 3 attacks against Zaporozhia since April 7th. Again, why would Russians fire on their own positions? Oh yeah, but yeah, sure. Return it to Ukraine so we can fully run the agenda that the Russians are trying to create a nuclear catastrophe. When it's in the Russian hands, we cannot run the agenda for it. Like, you're such a bigot that you do not give them back the, the nuclear power plant, and you do not shoot your rockets, your FAB 500s on it. You're such a bigot, mate. Both Ukraine and Russia have regularly accused the other of attacking the plant. It's under the control of the Russian Federation. Why would they be firing on their own position? Mate. And the accusations continued on Thursday. Ukraine's UN ambassador Sergei Kisucha introduced the resolution telling the General Assembly that Russia continues to violate key principles of technological and physical nuclear security and continues to attack the plan. I'm just gonna do this. Russian troops occupied the plant shortly after invading Ukraine in 2022. Zaporozhia, which has 6 nuclear reactors, sits in Russian-controlled territory. Few columns later, Ukraine's UN ambassador Sergei Kisucha, I don't know, introduced a resolution telling that Russia continues to violate key principles of technological and physical nuclear safety and continues to attack the plant. The nuclear plant sits in Russian-controlled territory. Here. Russia continues to attack the plant. What the actual fuck? Like, do you think people are stupid? Yes, they are. They are very stupid. Ukraine and neighboring countries suffered the disastrous consequences of the nuclear explosion at the Chernobyl plant in 1986. He said, but the repercussions of a possible incident in Zaporozhia, which has been deliberately turned into a key component for the military strategy of Russia, would be even more catastrophic. Kisucha warned that if we simply stand with our arms crossed, that good luck will not last forever and an incident will be inevitable, yes, and it will be Ukraine who's going to cause it. Nuclear security and protection depend on our ability to adopt a strong and common stance on inadmissibility of the continued occupation and militarization of the Zaporozhia nuclear power plant, the Ukrainian ambassador said. Russia's deputy UN ambassador Dmitry Polyansky accused Ukraine and its Western supporters of trying to push through the resolution with the real goal of getting the General Assembly's blessing for the outcome of last month's Ukraine peace conference in Switzerland and sneaking in political elements. That is very likely. In the conference communique, nearly 80 countries called for its territorial integrity of Ukraine to be the basis for any peace agreement to end the war. Yes, we are sipping a lot of copium now. It also said Zaporozhia and other nuclear plants must remain under Ukrainian control in line with IKEA principles. Fuck IKEA. Please, Russia, return the territory you conquered. Bye. Make me, bro. I'm gonna send some nukes on your way to your, to your garden. Polyansky accused the communique supporters of trying to promote the false Western narrative about the source of threat to nuclear facilities in Ukraine. Indeed, he claimed that the only threat to the nuclear facilities in Ukraine today is from Kiev's regular and reckless attacks on the Zaporozhia nuclear power plant. Yes. 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 Its related infrastructure and the nearby city where plant employees and their families live. Indeed. And this is the end of the article. So yes, the United Nations the Allies are desperately trying to get the Zaporozhia's nuclear power plant into the control of Ukraine because they want to run the agenda that Russia is actively trying to create a nuclear catastrophe by firing artillery shells and rockets onto the nuclear power plant that they control in territory they control. If you cannot see what's wrong with that logic, then your IQ is below 80. Sorry to tell you. Not really sorry. United Nations must be disbanded. The only form of United Nations that should be kept is the humanitarian aid. Even the Blue Helms should be disbanded, not because they are useless, but because both their training is kind of lacking and their equipment is also not really good. And ammunition. I saw some videos about blue helmets just having some really poor equipment, poor ammunition supplies, poor vehicles. So yeah. A good idea, however, the equipment sucks and a good portion of these men are losing their lives because of it. So, on to the next article. We got prisoners to be released after serving 40% of the sentence to alleviate overcrowding. Prisons have been more than 99% capacity for most of the time since January 2023, with concerns the system is about to collapse. I'm gonna take a sip of water. And I don't want to imagine if they were to actually imprison all the people that... Well, let's not talk about it just yet. Prisoners who have served 40% of their sentence will be released to help alleviate overcrowding, the government has announced. I wonder what sort of punishment is there for knife crimes in the UK. If you stab somebody or if you threaten somebody with a knife. So I wonder what sort of punishment is for it. So if you heard that, I was just doing my impression of someone threatening you with a knife, which you cannot see. Justice Secretary Shabana Mahmood said failing to act now risks the collapse of the criminal justice system and a total breakdown of law and order, including looting and rioting in the streets. The newly appointed minister blamed Rishi Sunak and his gang in number 10 for being too weak to heed the warning signs that were flashing. More than 10,000 prisoners were released early under the previous government between October last year and June this year, and the new government has said. Prisoners in England and Wales, apart from the most serious offenders, are usually released on license after serving 50% of their sentence. Very great justice system. If it's your first offense, then yes. If you have any sort of I forgot the word for it, but if it's not your first offense and you've done it before, then you should not be released earlier. That's a common sense now, isn't it? From September, this will be reduced to 40%. Prison Officers Association Mark Fairhurst Told Sky News this could mean about 5.5 prisoners are released under this scheme in the first few months. The reduction in time served will not apply to those who committed serious violent offenses with sentences of 4 years or more, I see. This includes stalking offenses, I agree. Controlling or coercive behaviors in an intimate or family relationship, yes. Non-fatal strangulation and suffocation, so some BDSM, I guess that's fine. Breach of restraining order, non-molestation order, and domestic abuse protection order. I mean, considering I remember watching some video about a guy who stalked a streamer called Sweet Anita. The British system about stalking is not very good to begin with, so in reality, this might not actually be. I think a lot of stalkers are actually never caught, or there isn't really any sort of a action done against them. The British law, I remember, had some stupid wording that disallowed the officers to actually act until they did something to, go beyond that red line set by the British law, but that's been years ago, so I don't know if this was changed or not. The most serious offenders will also not be released early. They must currently spend 2/3 of their sentence behind bars or have the payroll board decide if they can be released. Electronic tagging and curfews. Prisoners released early under the program will be strictly monitored throughout measures including electronic tagging and curfews. They could be recalled to prison if they breach their license conditions, obviously. Sorry about that. Oh, they still have those Lord titles. Lord Chancellor Mahmood announcing the plan at HMP 5 Wells in Northamptonshire said when prisons are full, violence rises, putting prison officers on the front line at risk. When no cells are available, suspects cannot be held in custody. This means van loads of dangerous people circling the country with nowhere to go. So you are lowering that to 40% then. Very interesting. You could always just build more prisons. Then again, eventually you would be just another United States with, with like 1 million prison population. United States has about, I believe, 3 or 4 million in prisons, actually, people in prisons. That's a very big number. And I'm surprised that nobody in the US is really talking about it, because that is realistically quite a bit of a problem. Well, let's see actually. Yeah, that is a problem. That's like if Denmark had a prison population of 30,000 people. Because 3 or 4 million is circa 1% of the American population, so that's really high actually. When no cells are available, suspects cannot be held in custody. This means van loads of dangerous people circling the country with nowhere to go. The police would have to use their cells as a prison overflow, keeping officers off the streets. Soon the courts would grind to a halt, unable to hold trials. With officers unable to act, criminals could do whatever they want without consequence. We could see looters running amok, smashing in windows, robbing shops, and setting neighborhoods alight. So basically you're telling if enough people start doing crimes, you will not be able to do anything about it. Well, that's a very positive message to relay to the British people. In short, If we fail to act now, we face the collapse of the criminal justice system and a total breakdown of law and order. Do I want to read this? Probably not. This is probably what they were writing about in Beyond here. So I'm gonna skip this. The previous conservative government started a controversial early release prisoner scheme last October, which allows certain offenders to be freed up to 70 days before the end of their sentence. That's like 2 months. That's not necessarily that bad. That's not that bad. Like, I mean, up to 70 days before. I mean, it's not good. However, it's not as bad as I expected it to be. I expected it to go like 180 plus days before actually the end of the sentence or something like that. Ms. Mahmoud said that scheme, which saw more than 10,000 offenders being released, is now being stopped, and it's going to get replaced by 40%. Speaking on the previous conservative government, the Justice Secretary said, time and time again, they dug the difficult decisions that could have addressed this challenge. Instead, they kept the public in the dark about the state they had left this country in. They were too weak to heed the warning signs that were flashing. They chose instead to put the country at risk. She added, those responsible, Sunak and his gang in number 10, should go down in history as guilty men. The guilty men who put their political careers ahead of the safety and security of our country. It was the most disgraceful dereliction of duty I have ever known. Okay, prisoner release early talks to Sky News. Okay, we're gonna watch that. I'm gonna pause the music and we're gonna watch this interview real quick. It's only 1 minute long, 90 seconds long, so we can watch it. Also, I'm gonna take a sip of water.
I rang my family and they said, oh, we're going to see you today. You get released today. And I said, no, I'm not. They came to my cell door. They opened the door and said to me that I'm getting released. They let me go to reception. Next thing you know, someone come down, probably about 3 hours later, and said sorry, because it's an early release, there was a mix-up with the systems.
Do you feel like staff there had a grip of what was going on?
No, not at all. It was all up in the air, and they didn't really know what was going on. If they were coming, if they were going.
Some members of the public will be concerned about some people that have gone to prison for some serious crimes are being let out early. I mean, do you understand their concerns?
I understand them, but at the end of the day, people learn, and obviously people change. Everyone deserves a second chance.
People change, huh? I would argue most of them don't change. They just would do their best to not get caught anymore. Especially if it's someone who's like 26 plus years old who was sentenced, when he was 26 plus. I mean, they're not gonna change because, I mean, at that age, you already should know the basics of what is right and what is wrong. So, I mean, this is a bit of a empty statement. Since the beginning of the 2023, male prisons in England and Wales have had an occupancy rate of more than 99% the majority of the time, the Ministry of Justice figures show. Sorry about that. I'm also gonna turn on the background music. The latest figures reveal that there were only 708 places remaining on Monday. For the system to operate smoother and effectively, a minimum buffer of more than double that, 1,425 spaces is required. Ms. Mahmood also promised to recruit more than 1,000 additional trainee probation officers by March 2025 and to publish a 10-year prison capacity strategy at the autumn budget. 70 days is not that long. I expected it to be like 6+ months. That would be a problem, but 2+ months and like 8 days or 10 days, like 70 days is not that much. So this is not as bad. However, I mean, it also does not sound good when you introduce it or promote it, like. And if the England has problems with prison capacities, build more prisons, I guess. What else do you want me to say? I know the British police is pretty incompetent, however, if you have problems with overpopulation in your prisons, well, you need more prisons, so you need more prisons to be built, I guess. And the last article, I think this is going to be the last and I won't be playing anything afterwards. I might play something on Saturday, we'll see. We got Mr. Beast says how he'd act as a president and gets roasted. I've seen his tweet on Twitter. However, I decided I will not be making any comments about it simply because I would not be able to talk like 10 minutes about his potential, attempt to become a president. It was a bit of a naive tweet that he would listen to both parties. I doubt that everyone has a bias, alright? Everyone, you, me, your children, your enemies, your friends, people you love, all have an agenda. All of them have some sort of political agenda. So saying that you would be neutral to all and listen to both parties equally is, and most importantly, decide unbiasedly is naive and to be mild. The famous YouTuber would just listen to both sides, of course, and fix our problem. So I took the liberty and look on this guy who was writing about it. I don't read Kotaku. The reason why we are even reading Kotaku article is because IGN articles are so goddamn boring right now. IGN releases about 20 articles per day in working week, and right now 100% of them are completely boring and uninteresting, and I cannot make a single video about them. That's how bad it is. So Zach Zvijan, and his first article that we see, Doom fans go too far, put the shooter to a sex toy. So we got a very serious journalist there, or urinalist here, to be more precise. The correct terms for any sort of gaming journalist is a urinalist, because they suck at the games, without exception. That's an hyperbole. If somebody was to give examples, okay? Okay. Popular YouTuber James Mr. B. Donaldson explained what he would do if he was elected President of the United States. It basically amounted to him never picking a side and instead looking for a middle ground on all issues. Again, everyone has an agenda and he would be biased towards one or other party. On some issues, maybe he would try sincere, but I think he would have a bias towards a certain political party on one issue and then bias to the other political party on other issues. That is, if he was actually gonna try to be sincere and try to listen to both parties and not just say that he would be sincere and then side with one party or others. Here's the paragraph where I'll take a moment to explain who Mr. Beast is, even though it's very, very likely that you, a reader of Kotaku, wrong. I'm not a reader of Kotaku. The only reason I read this article is simply because IGN is completely incompetent and cannot make a single interesting article. You already know who this dude is and don't need a refresher. You can skip ahead. For everyone else, let me explain real fast. Mr. Beast is an extremely popular content creator, known mostly for his charity work. Charity work, you say? Wow, that's very interesting. Just give me a moment. Don't ask me. I'm gonna show you my history. I'm gonna show you my history, alright, after that. I'm gonna show you my history just to prove to you that I do not search these things. Like, these things are shown to me by YouTube, and I don't know why. Alright? I never used this YouTube channel to begin with, so Mr. Beast. I'm gonna show you after, so.
In this video, we are building.
Yes, in this video. So what are his most popular videos? What are the videos where he really made it? So $456,000 Squid Game in real life. That does not really sound like charity. Last to Leave Circle wins $500,000. That does not sound like a charity. $1 versus $500,000 plane ticket. Again, that doesn't sound like a charity. Age 1 to 100 fight for $500,000. Again, that does not sound like a charity. That's the first video, but maybe we'll be lucky in the next ones. $1 versus 1 million hotel room. $1 versus 1 billion yacht. I spent 50 hours buried alive. Would you sit in snakes for $10,000? Again, neither of them sounds like a charity video. I spent 50 hours in a solitary confinement. Press this button to win $100,000. $1 versus $100 million car. I built Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Survive 100 days in a circle, win $500,000. Anything you can fit in the cycle, I'll pay for. 7 days stranded at sea, going to the same drive to 1,000 times. Neither of them sounds like a charity. So we've just had a look on his 16 most popular videos, and neither of them sounds like a charity. So already, realistically, within the second column of the article, he already has his facts wrong. That's a very good start. We're giving people shoes randomly, giving away money, etc., which is then documented in videos with some of the most bug-wild thumbnails I've ever seen. And indeed, he has his beast philanthropy. However, if you are explaining to somebody who Mr. Beast is, you're gonna explain about his main channel, about the channel that has those hundreds of millions of views on videos. On pretty much every new video he now releases. Thanks to these charity videos and a good understanding of what kids will click on, bro, just shut up. Just fuck off. Yeah. Yeah. 600 million kids watch this. Almost 500 million kids watched it. 400 million kids watched this. 380 million kids watched this. More than 300 million kids watch these. Just stop. Just stop. I understand you don't like him. That's completely fair if you don't like him. However, you are a goddamn journalist and you should at least attempt to sound neutral and not, present your own biases against creators because you do not agree with his relationship with Elon Musk or whatever. And personally, if you ask me what I think about him, neutral, I don't really care about the guy. One of the biggest creators in the world. Naturally, that means some people have suggested he run for president, and now he's shared his plans for that hellish potential timeline. Oh, hellish potential timeline. Oh yeah. Allow me to remind you who is running for president in 2024. 81 years old grandpa, 77 years old grandpa, and 69 years old grandpa. And if you are a stupid idiot, then you're gonna vote for a 74 years old grandma for the Libertarians. The Chilstein or whatever her name is. Oh yeah. Hellish timeline, huh? Like, this bro is really mouthing. He must be really hurt. We can just see just how much hurt he is, that it wasn't him who got famous. It is not him who has all that cash. That he is just some random game urinalist that nobody gives a fuck about and nobody will remember him like 5 years from now on. I feel sorry for the bro. On July 6, Mr. Beast tweeted out that if the minimum age requirement to become the President of the United States was lowered, he'd jump in the race. Currently, you must be 35 years old. And no, there's no maximum age cap for this office. Hence why two bloated corpses who can barely string together coherent sentences are running in 2024. I disagree. Donald Trump is quite coherent in telling his stories, his version of stories. And like this guy is mouthing, he's losing it. Like, you can see just how much he's losing it. Anyway, on Wednesday, a few days after that initial tweet, Mr. Beast shared how he would act as a president. If I were president, I wouldn't care about party rights. I'd just always do make the American people my number one priority, explained Mr. Beast. Somehow, I doubt it. It is possible he would try, however, I doubt it. I simply doubt it. That's the thing about these positions of power. People promise stuff, they promise you heaven. However, when they get into that office, they just realize that everything around them is quite corrupted, and suddenly their motivation to really act for the people starts to drop. And eventually they are just part of the system, they part of the party. For problems I'm ignorant in, I'd have experts from the left and right to advise me on them and trying to find the middle ground that's best for America. Oh yeah. And this is already a red flag for me. My government also had tons of experts. Yeah, tons and tons of experts and advisors. And they still cannot communicate shit with their own voters, with the people they are supposed to be, caring about. Completely useless political party. But yeah, they are spending millions and millions of kronen to just pay these experts. And they don't do shit. They're completely incompetent. Completely incompetent government that is not able to even communicate with its people. And a government that is also now quite divisive. They are, oh yeah, my government now is also being quite aggressive against the opposition, labeling them as pro-Russian, which could be true, maybe not. Well, there's a one party in our nation that is in the parliament that is definitely, they would definitely bow to Putin. However, I don't see other parties bowing. Maybe the communists would bow as well, that's possible. They got a lot of votes though for the European Parliament, however nobody wants them in our parliament. They just send them to Europe because they don't want to see them on the parliament, list. I wouldn't be buyable, don't care about doing things just because my party says I should, and I would focus on uniting the country instead of dividing it. So basically he's saying he would be candidating for one of the parties. That's already kind of going against his word that he would not care about the party lines. Fuck. What the fuck is this? Okay. Your birthday is around the corner. Still got time. God damn it. People react poorly to Mr. Beast's platform. I mean, it's Twitter. People there are stupid idiots regardless. So, I mean, that's not a good benchmark. However, I mean, it's not the worst tweet, okay? I'll probably, I'm gonna read one more column, then I'm gonna add my own 2 cents to it, because this guy is really hurt. He's really hurt. And it's a pain to read that from this little pathetic worm. The reaction to this centrist childlike bitch for president has led to a lot of people roasting the content created online. Oh yeah, roasting. On Twitter. Wake the fuck up, bro. Many have asked simple questions like, what's the middle ground between universal healthcare and no universal healthcare? A hybrid of universal public healthcare and private healthcare. Then again, this would benefit the rich, because rich would get the best doctors and you would be stuck with your average doctors, which in all honesty is not very good. So yeah. What's the middle option between providing LGBTQ people with rights and not doing that? Not caring about LGBT at all. Okay, out of all of these, VODs, these are the only 4 I care about. Anything beyond that, I cannot say that, because Twitch or YouTube would be very angry if I said that. However, I only care about LGBT, and anything beyond that, I think you're disingenuous. to be very, very mild. Some of his fans did reply to these questions and suggest the answer is to do nothing or not change anything. I mean, hey, status quo. And that's not something you would want to see from President of the United States, but hey, probably better than what the teams of Joe Biden and Donald Trump could come up with. Providing people with great example of why centers are worthless. Oh my god, I agree. Okay, let's do the first one. Yes, he's very hurt. He's so hurt that these centers could potentially vote for Republicans. He's so fucking hurt. He's so fucking hurt. And yes, centers are very useless. Especially those centers, they simply do not pick sides. I mean, which are most centers, obviously. However, god damn it, I'm getting a lot of notifications on the phone. Okay, that's something from Reddit. Nobody cares. Worthless. Yes, he's very hurt. They are not entirely worthless, however, they are not exactly useful. Because what he thinks about is when when somebody says both sides have idiots on there, that's not very helpful. That doesn't solve anything. That doesn't give an idea to solution to anything. It's like saying the obvious. As I said, in such cases, it is best to be general. And yes, you might argue that is being general when you say there are idiots in both parties. I dare to disagree, and I'm gonna say, no, it is nitpicky to say there are idiots on both sides. There's a problem, you say generally, there's a problem with someone doing something. And you talk about the problem. And obviously, if there are people doing some stupid shit on the other side in some other similar territory, then you will go over to the place where those people live and talk about it. That is how democracy should work. Obviously, it doesn't work like that. Rereading his plan but pretending it was written and read out loud by a 9-year-old child just learning about politics at the VOD. Oh my god, he's so fucking hurt. He's like, oh yes, I'm a professional political, debater. I am destiny, and everyone cares about my opinion. No, nobody gives a fuck about your opinion. Your fucking guy that you promoted got completely destroyed in his mayor elections. You probably even hurt them because people then started to find shit about you. Yeah, I'm a political expert who is considered a fucking gaming urinalist. And weirdo who talks about fucking sex toys on gaming articles, unironically. Or maybe it was ironic, but I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna say unironically because this guy is such a little loser. How old is Mr. Beast? Let's see, his age is 26 years old. He was started to be big when he was around 20 years old, so... And you can run US president. Minimum age is what? 35 years old, so 9 years he has. He theoretically has about 9 years, which is a long while, because so yeah, I mean, 9 years, that's a long while for him to actually even grow up. So I mean, saying I mean, this guy is so fucking hard because I understand that he is very naive. However, saying this stuff is just shows that you have an agenda against him, and you are really hurt that he is so successful. That's what's up. That's unironically what's up. Like, this guy is simply butthurt that he is so successful, and now is crying in these articles, and it really lacks professionalism. However, Kotaku articles are always like this. If I heard these Kotaku articles were always so fucking cringe. Just people simply cannot hold their ego back, and they just start crying because shit. Okay, it's on. Bro, that's so adorable. Bro, you are such a. I would say the I word, however, hey, I'm gonna be polite, even though he does not deserve it. That's so cute. Oh yeah, this is even cuter. This is so cute. You're such a serious urinalist. Kotaku stuff right there. I mean, I heard that some of the locations are shutting down. US Gamer, Kill Screen, Hard Drive, and Entertainment Views. Well, this is a hoax. You're not an entertainer. You're a butthead child. Kill Screen, who knows? US Gamer, false, you are a urinalist. He has written for Game Critics. Did I ever read any of the articles? Probably not, maybe. Chicken Soup for the Soul Red Box. Oh yeah, this is even better. Someone got doom running inside Fortnite. And then here, we talked to the person behind the wild video and learn how they got the classic FPS in Epic's game. So someone got the doom running, then they here says we talked to the person. So they did not get the person's name or what? I'm gonna click on this. Oh, Jackson Clayton was the name. So that someone is Jackson Clayton, but you say someone. You're such an disingenuous motherfucker. You're such a little butthead child. So you're so fucking pathetic, bro. That's like when CNN published a video on Hikaru Nakamura and said this guy is earning a lot of money by playing chess. Yes, they literally called him this guy. They did not even bother to tell his real name, bro. You're on a level of a fucking CNN. Good job, mate. Good job, you with the butthead child. And yeah, I'm ranting a lot about him because I'm having fun actually. I'm kinda having fun though. Talking shit about urinalists. As you can imagine, I do not really like urinalists. Popular YouTube rapper. And this should tell you everything about this guy now. You should know now everything about this guy. He calls iShow Speed, a popular YouTube rapper. I don't know about you, but I show Speed is a live streamer. Maybe he made some rap videos, that's possible. However, his most viral clips, his most viral videos are about him doing live streams, and now about doing an IRL live stream in real life live streams. Popular YouTube and famous TikTok wizard get into a viral barking fight. Yes, this is something that definitely should be published on a gaming website. Is Kotaku gaming website? Let's see. Gaming news, gaming reviews, news, tips and more. Yes. Does that article sound like a gaming review, news, or tips and more? No. It sounds like a bizarre. Yeah. How to explain this whole Dr. Disrespect situation to the normal person? He texted a 17 years old. What is so hard to explain it about, for God's sake? A man with in a wig. Bro, richer man with... Like, this is his fucking persona. I understand you are this boring little white guy with no personality. Bland white. I understand. It must be so fucking painful to be white. To be so fucking boring that your own girlfriend or wife cheats on you when you write these shit articles. However, you simply have to get it that so people actually try to go out of these stereotypes and create something unique. I understand you're probably top 5 in your top 5 games are probably all shit, you know, live service games, Battlefield 2042 or 2069 or whatever that was. Fucking the day after or whatever the game was. I understand you have no personality. I understand that. But just shut up. Just shut up, mate. There you go. Now it's better. It's better now. You just realize just how pathetic little male you are. So now do everyone a favor and shut the fuck up. White people. Anyways, we can pick up this in 15 minutes, blah blah blah. He could candidate as a non-aligned because he's just so big. Oh, and there we go. He publicly says he would vote for Biden instead of Mr. Beast. So he would vote for Biden, who calls Ukrainian President Vladimir Putin, who calls his Vice President Donald Trump, a president who lost debate with Trump on CNN, on goddamn CNN. CNN is left-leaning. People watching CNN are left-leaning people. And even those left-leaning people said that Biden lost that debate. But sure, vote for Biden. I mean, like, these people do not know, he does not know anything about politics, yet he's trying to go all edgy. You know, look at me, I'm so fucking edgy talking about Mr. Beast because he's trendy, so we must hate him. I mean, I understand if you do not like Mr. Beast, however, this is very disingenuous in Sweden. This is very disingenuous against the readers, because simply you're just pushing your own little pathetic agenda and you do not provide any sort of valuable insights. I mean, you said you would vote for Biden instead, so I mean, your opinion is already invalidated now. Your opinion is very much invalidated if you would vote for Biden. I mean, even the Democratic media now are turning on him and say he should be replaced with somebody else, that he should just give up. Yeah. But yeah, vote for Biden, sure. There you go. I mean, he just said he would vote for Biden. He's probably one of the two hardline staunch Biden supporters. So yeah, there you go. They don't listen to the reason now. Simply, yeah. No, they do not care that he's a basically he's not good enough for the second term in office, buddy. Now someone passed the ninja into sharing his presidential platform on Twitter, and we can get a. Oh, of course, he's talking about ninja. Okay, you can now see who this guy is. This guy was on the internet in 2017 or 2018 when Ninja blew up. When Fortnite was, starting to get very popular, and when Ninja was having all these tens of thousands of viewers on live streams, if not hundreds of thousands, and sometime. Or maybe climate change will wipe us all by then. Let's hope. Bro, you're so fucking cringe. You're so fucking cringe. I wonder if I can find his photography. Because I think I'm gonna get I have a good idea for a thumbnail. I think I have a good idea for thumbnail. It will be very edgy, however, this motherfucker does not deserve anything less than a edgy thumbnail. Because what I mean, bro, like, then he says, okay, now past the Ninja. Bro, Ninja has been big like 5 years ago, if not even, not even longer than 5 years ago. Nobody gives a fuck about Ninja now. The last time I heard about Ninja was when the content creator called Gideon got banned because he was saying something about Pokemon or something like that, and Ninja was talking about him. And that was like 2 or 3 years ago now. So yeah, I mean, this guy is completely out of touch, out of reality, but hey, urinalists. And this was the final article, actually. So I hope you everybody enjoyed, and no, I did not forget about it. I will show you my internet history. So, as you see, I'm watching my own videos and liking them. There you go. Yeah, the Wednesday did not load it now, did it? Yeah, Wednesday did not load it. I saw it that Wednesday did not load it here. We got Melanchon, Date Brothers, and stuff like this. It did not load, so I refreshed it so you can see that I did not delete anything or anything like that, okay? So as you can see, nothing saucy. Those are my videos thumbnails, which, yes, it's a clickbait. Not really, not actually, because this is from their platforms. Yeah, this is from their platform, so you can see what people are on the Euros are breaking buckets. And here also, that are the ladies that the Twitch CEO had on his feed, so of course I was gonna include them in the thumbnail. I think most people click because of the blondie. Well, mostly because of the Nicolette, obviously. Because, hey, people see big boobs, they click. And maybe because of the blondie, because, hey, they see booty, they click. And also we got the European Union article about EU wants to learn more about the porno industry. Anything else? Anything to say? Nope, just some videos under my watch. So I don't know why it was recommending. Why is it recommending me those videos? I mean, it started right recently, and I think it's gonna change because for some time I had also the videos about the black tape project showing up on my feed. So I don't quite understand why this. I don't know why it was showing on my feed, however it stopped and I got these transparent tryouts, I don't know why. And yeah, I watched this because it landed on my fucking page and I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it for the giggles. So yeah, hope you enjoyed and have a good time. Peace out. Damn, I'm gonna have to cut that video about that game urinalist real good, because there's always possible, it's likely that he will eventually find this and do his own reaction about it, because he's just so petty, so pathetic with the worm. He's such a little pathetic with the worm. Fuck, I can't speak. He's such a pathetic little worm to actually talk about it. He's probably gonna find it and use the VOD to dispel it, because I'd say that my cohesive abilities, my cognitive abilities are pretty shit. But I'm an introvert. I understand that you have no sort of empathy for humans who aren't LGBTQ+. However, hey, that's not my problem that you're a piece of human garbage. Well, you are waiting for Kotaku, that should be given. But hey, if he wants to use it, then it is what it is. I don't really care that much. As I said, I'm an introvert and I have not spoken since like 2020. And I'm not kidding, I have not spoken since 2020 at all. Like 2024, I've spoken more than I've spoken in the last 3 years, and that's not a joke. 2020, 21, 22, 23. I've spoken more in 2024 than I speak in those 4 years. So you probably should get a picture just how bad my cognitive abilities are going to be. But hey, such with the pathetic users do not care about conditions. Hey, they care about their own agenda. And by the way, for the record, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a right winger. I'm a left wing person. So yeah, I'm not centrist in any way or shape. I'm not a centrist. I know being centrist does solve nothing. You need to form your opinions, you need to form strong opinions to be able to create solutions. Hopefully ideal solutions for the humanity, but that's everything I wanted to talk about. Hey, we've been streaming for almost 2 hours, so hey. Hope you enjoyed. Sorry for that end, but hey, I don't like urinals, and bye bye. I'm gonna turn off the stream in after like 30 seconds.